And now we'd like to take you back in time through the help of a reenactment of the Children of Grace drama team to look through the eyes of Zahara, the first ever sponsored girl of Children of Grace.
I'm Zahara, and I'm a child of grace. I was 8 years old when I found out that my mother was HIV positive. Initially, I did not understand what that really meant. Over the years, I started understanding that being HIV positive was something that's serious. My grandmother moved in with us to start helping me out. My mom was now a patient in our house, and that really changed my life. I remember one day my grandmother, she left me at home with my mom. We had not had much interaction. Once she got sick, she was just sleeping all the time. That day my grandmother told me to stay by her side because she would need some help. My mom, for the first time, asked me to help her out to go to the bathroom. It was too hard for me because I just didn't think it was fair. Not too long ago, she was the one helping me out. She taught me to be strong. She taught me to think for myself. She taught me to go after what I want to do, not just settle for what people expect me to do. A lot of my own, motivation comes from her. I remember when my mom used to sing me to sleep. I miss the comfort of her voice. I was at school playing with my friends when I saw my cousin Tony come running up to me, and I just knew right then that something was wrong. When I arrived at my house, I found that there was a white curtain covered over my mom's bed. I just knew that she was finally dead. AIDS had claimed my mother's life. After burying my mother, my brothers and I were separated. They went with my uncles. I was left to stay with my aunt. My aunt had 4 children. I knew that she was not going to be able to afford my tuition. I heard of an organization listing up orphans. I walked 5 miles to town to put my name on the list in hope to get someone to sponsor me. After some time, I was notified that I had somebody who was willing to pay for my tuition. I was very, very happy, but I still knew that I had to work very hard. When I heard my sponsor was coming, I put on my red dress and went to greet her. I'm Zahara. I'm a child of grace, and I'm here to tell you the rest of my story. When I was finishing my primary education, my sponsor invited me to attend school here in Danville. Encouraged by my relatives, excited but very scared, I accepted. Getting a visa required multiple trips to the embassy with Marianne, but she was very persistent. And the day came when she and I finally boarded a huge plane to America. When I arrived in California, I traveled everywhere in a very nice car with concrete roads. And I remember it took me a long time to finally realize that the lights in the roads at night were reflectors. And even a longer time to adjust to a shower. In Uganda, I used to bathe by splashing water from a basin. So imagine when I stepped into a shower, turned the knob, and hot water came out. I was enrolled in 7th grade and graduated 2 years ago from Athenian. My early years at Athenian were a struggle emotionally because I had not made peace between the two people within me. A little girl that grew up in a world of extreme poverty and the loss of my mother to HIV AIDS, to now a girl carrying a cell phone and going shopping with my friends at the mall. When I started applying to the universities, I knew that someday I wanted to help educate children in Uganda so that they could find solutions to the problems of the poverty and HIV AIDS, and in turn impact our villages and the country. I am now at George Washington University, a junior, and I am majoring in the field of international affairs with a concentration in global health. And at George Washington, I've had the opportunity to join the African Students Association. And through this organization, I've been invited to the US government-sponsored African development conferences, where I've met several and many different African leaders, ambassadors, and sometimes presidents. Through these opportunities, I'm developing a network of knowledgeable individuals working in the government and non-government institutions that are helping develop solutions to improve education and living conditions throughout Africa. This past summer, I returned to Uganda to carry out a GW research project on the Uganda educational system. I spent time in my village talking to students, teachers, and guardians about the goals they have for themselves and our community. My daily trips to my village were a clear reminder that I was truly blessed, and with this unique educational opportunity, and more importantly that I have a huge responsibility to advocate and work for change in the educational system after I graduate at George Washington. I believe that better educational opportunities will provide future generations with the skills and opportunities to fight poverty and HIV AIDS. The only difference that I saw when I was going to my village was between me and the children there was that somebody believed in me and gave me a chance for an education. Children in Uganda have the potential to fulfill their hopes, aspirations, and dreams if only someone believes in them. For me, it's that one person that I now have a future. I am one of 15 million AIDS orphans in the world. And you are one of 7 billion people in the world. You are one, but that's all it really takes to make a difference. Thank you for coming tonight.